What's up, everyone? DisruptPD here. Call me Jamie if you would like. But I want to do an open mic to kind of discuss what this name right here means. Why on Smule do I go by DisruptPD? Well, many of y'all probably don't know, but I suffer from Parkinson's disorder type symptoms. And I've been to neurologists. I've been, physical therapy. I've had a lifelong history of muscle issues, neurological issues, and some great things are happening. So I'm going to try to keep it short, but also be informative of some things. But back in October, I switched. It's a weird noise, but we're just going to roll with it. I switched my username on Smule to DisruptPD. I've been doing some therapy on myself to try to improve the quality of the way that I feel, in particular my voice. And some great things have been happening. And first and foremost, I need to say this, that God has helped me. He's been there for me, and, some people don't want to use this platform for to talk about that. Something I have to do personally. So I'm going to keep this about my name, but I need to say that out there first, okay? But I began doing some therapy on my body, and a little bit of history about me. I used to be terrible at singing. I've always got made fun of by my parents, by my family, everyone, people I played music with. And they always tell me, stick to music, Jamie. Singing's not your thing. But something inside of me always have wanted to sing. There's just something that has driven me. But I've suffered from lots of vocal issues in my life. Ever since puberty, my voice never stopped cracking. I would answer the phone, hello, I can't do it now, but I was always had vocal problems and never understood why. Same thing when it came to singing. I could sing okay, but I'll get a random voice crack. I'll be singing something, and then it was just very, very difficult, and that's what I kind of got ridiculed for. But to kind of move on, this therapy that I've been doing on myself, the reason why I changed my name is I am working to disrupt Parkinson's disorder, other types of movement disorders, chronic pain. And I'm not just the one I've been working on. My wife as well. She was diagnosed with functional neurological disorder, and she does have Parkinson's in her family. Her grandmother had it. But some of these same things I've been doing to myself, I've been doing to her. She developed a little bit of a tremor, and probably about a year, maybe a year and a half ago, she was dealing with that. And some of those, symptoms with FND, we'll call it, does mimic Parkinson's. So we're not saying that, hey, she had Parkinson's, but anyway, she dealt with a lot of the same muscle compression, just the tight rigidity. And she's 14 years younger than I am. So at my age now, when I was her age, I was dealing with a lot of the similar things that she was dealing with. Just, tendon issues, just muscle issues. And a little brief history about myself. I've had 5 different surgeries related to tendon problems. I've had debridements on my elbow. Same thing with my rotator cuff, my Achilles. And at 35, I was dealing with cartilage deterioration in my right knee. And I never understood why, but it all kind of makes sense now that I look back and piece it all together. The chronic spasms I used to have as a teenager, my leg would go numb, my foot would go numb, so I would take and I would just rub out my thighs, and it would get better. Growing pains, parents push it off as something else, right? But looking back now with everything in consideration, it all seems related to each other. But something happens whenever I'm doing this therapy. I get a sense of euphoria. I'll sweat. I will, you know, my skin gets blazing hot. And as I've been doing this, my vocal has changed. I speak like I've never spoken before. I sing like I've never sang before. And it just feels like that was always inside of me, but just could not get past those restraints. You know, your vocal cords are sits right here in your throat. And if you know anything about Parkinson's disorder, hypophonia, which is low voice tone, and other things, you know, flat, monotone speaking, you know, muscles in your face being so tight that you can't articulate very well. I've been working on all these, and I've also been incorporating some things with nutrition and just different things, just experimenting. I've always been this kind of person that would just explore, you know, try to figure things out. How does this work? How does that work? But the results that I'm having is amazing. I started a YouTube page, DisruptPD. Please follow me on there. I'm going to be putting up a lot of information, different stuff related to this, some of my findings, and I'm just looking and I'm hoping that someone will take a hold of this and begin some research. Don't wait until some feeble old man walks into the doctor's office and then diagnose them with Parkinson's disorder. I've had doctors saying, you got bad posture, you know, sit up straight. Well, if I could sit up straight, we wouldn't have a problem, would we? But now my posture is great. I still have some issues with my lower back. It does cause some numbness in my legs. That's why I'm always sitting down when I sing. But you know, the main thing is that this has came so far. This has, like I said, some great things has been happening here the last month when I launched this on Happy Hour with Tony and Lexi. It's a Twitch show that our Rage group is part of, and they took my story and put it out there. I've got one coming up in our actual life lessons. You know, we have a show that comes on that's going to be airing back this weekend. And awesome person, Cindy, her husband, Jason, they're the owners of the Rage PLFM, which I'm part of. And she's willing to take my story, and she wants to, at the end of the show, and then I'm going to be linking my YouTube video, which was aired on Happy Hour, which kind of shows some things, the stuff that I deal with physically. How my bones and stuff will just crack as my muscles are releasing, because everything has just been so compressed my whole life. And something just breaks away as I'm doing this. And like I've said, you know, we live in a world, I'll say this as I'm closing because my time's running out. AI is rampant. You can't believe much stuff. Physical therapy records, neurological records, doctor's records, many people that can verify and, you know, tell my story that says, yeah, this guy was, you know, everything I've just described. So there is no, you know, fake here. The pictures and stuff that you're going to be seeing on YouTube before and after, just my vocals. Go back to 2019 and listen to some of my stuff I sang. My voice was so weak. And, you know, I'm not like a great singer now, but there's just freedom in my voice. I just turn loose. I don't hold back. And I've never had that ability. It's like having ankle weights, wearing weights on your whole body and trying to run and try to be a performance athlete, you know? That's the way my voice feels now. And I have so much more presence and power with it. So I'm going to close with this, and thank you for this time. I appreciate you listening, and, you know, come on, let's get behind this. Let's push for research to find out, what am I doing to my body? What have I done to my wife's body to make her feel better? And it's not just feeling better. It's clarity of mind and everything else. So thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. All right. Y'all take care.